Hi there and welcome to The Deed. I have no idea what this is, man. I got this off of Chrono GG, which is this super fun place where every day you go there and check in, you get coins. And every day you go, there's a huge offer on a Steam game, like up to 90% off. And when you get a certain amount of coins, you can buy games for completely free for those coins. And I bought this, The Deed, which, according to Steam, is a RPG Maker murder mystery. I have no idea, but I played some RPG Maker games before that were really good. So let's give it a go. Pilgrim Adventures. I mean, of course I'll play the intro. I have no idea what I have in store. So, hold on. Oh, sorry, opened another window by mistake. There we go. Play the intro. Yeah, multiple endings. We'll just see what happens and what I get, and then we'll deal with that. Game options. Resets game. Alt-enter full screen. Access menu and inventory. Right, sure. Whatever. Oh, fuck. I forgot to actually check what button that was. How did I access? There we go. I saw it. Scotland, November 1945. My name is Aaron Bruce, son of Malcolm Bruce and rightful heir to Dunshield House. And like all people, I talk to myself loudly in train cabins to remind myself what my name is. I have recently discovered that my tyrant of a father intends to disinherit me in favor of my deranged younger sister. My relationship with my family is strained, to say the least. I have decided that the time has come for my sister to be removed from this ghastly equation. I intend to put her out of her misery. This is how you make me interested in your main character. Have him murder his sister. Unfortunately, my sister never leaves the confines of Dunshield House, which makes the matter more complicated. I have not visited the family home in quite some time. I can't bear to be in that hellhole for very long. However, my presence on the night of my father's 50th birthday will cause no suspicion. I must choose the timing and method of the deed very carefully. Tonight is the night. I go and it is done. The bell invites me. We are in Edgy Town, aren't we? Contradiction. I've never heard of that game. Ah, here we are. Spooky Mansion McManor. Bloody hell, George. Who's been responsible for maintaining the gardens? Yeah, his tone of voice totally changed all of a sudden. Used to be Big Jack Willis, sir. He's been dead almost a year now. I do a little here and there. Can't do much on account of my bad back, though. I don't know how he turned into a pilgrim, but I can't do a Scottish accent, so... My sister hasn't offered to help you, then? Miss Jennifer isn't really the outdoor type, sir. I know, George. It was a joke. Very funny, sir. Let's go inside before the ocean comes to Dunshield. Homecoming. Converse with your relatives and search the house for useful objects. Objects are divided into two categories: items of evidence and weapons. You will only be allowed to pick up 2 objects from around the house before dinner commences, so choose wisely. Your Connery is terrible? Yeah, I wasn't trying to do Connery, so that might be why. After dinner you will have the chance to plant an item of evidence if you wish, and then commit the murder. There are many ways to do the deed, but only the cunning will succeed. Okay, so that's interesting. Good evening, Mr. Aaron. May I take your coat? Only if I can take your dress. Smooth. I think I'll keep my coat. No, I think I'll keep my coat. Are you sure, Mr. Aaron? It looks soaked through. Quite sure. You're new, aren't you? Sophia's my name. I recognize you from your pictures, Mr. Aaron. I'm not new exactly. I've been employed by your family for almost a year. It's just that you've never visited before. I've been busy. My work keeps me very busy, unfortunately. I understand. I've been away from my family a lot since I started this job. You are here now, and I'm sure you're eager to meet with the others. Your father's in the library on your left, and your mother is in the parlor, which is on your right. Your sister is upstairs in her room, I think. And where can I find you, my pretty? God, you can really be an asshole here. I'm a vanilla player. I am white bread. I'm gonna be polite. I'll be in the kitchen preparing dinner. I'll sound the bell when dinner is served. Okay. You recall this old grandfather clock very well from your childhood. You used to believe that if it ever stopped ticking, time itself might stop moving. The portrait of one of your ancestors dates from the 15th century, if you recall your father's lessons correctly. Oh, did I just go outside? Even now, the familiar musty smell of your father's library fills you with dread as you step inside. You have too many bad memories of this room. Oh, hi, doggy! Your father's best friend, a hunting dog named Beastie. He named his dog Beastie. The dog looks at you for a moment, then walks away when it realizes you have no food. These shelves are labeled Arts and Culture. Hello, Father. Your father remains silent for several moments, and a chill seems to pass through the library. When he finally speaks, it is in a quiet and bitter tone. You told me you'd enter... that's fine. You told me you'd never enter this house again, boy! Why are you here? To discuss the inheritance, I know everything. What do you think, Father? I know all about your plans to disinherit me. Did you honestly think I wouldn't find out? I just gave them my motivation for murder. Awesome. Actually, I didn't expect that you would. The idiot child that you are. Does it really surprise you, though? Time and time again, you have shown yourself to be an incompetent steward of my estate. And my sister? Is she competent? More than you? You've never done nothing but disappoint me. That's because it's impossible to do anything else. Nothing I've ever done has made you happy. You know how to make me happy. Move back to Dunshield. Take your proper place and do your damn duty. You know what? Yes. If I were to move back to Dunshield, I would have certain expectations. Oh, what expectations would those be? Firstly, I refuse to suffer your daily insults. You will need to learn to be more decent towards me. Secondly, I want my sister to be put into care where she belongs. I cannot live with her insanity for another day. You would like that, wouldn't you, you obnoxious little shit? Selling out your own blood? Those are my terms. Well, you know what you could do with your terms. The nerve of you. You're the same snot-nosed brat you always were, boy. Obviously, I didn't give you enough discipline as a child. Oh, you beat me plenty, I remember. You gave me dozens of beatings, Father. I remember every single one of them. Did you ever consider trying another method, perhaps? Not for a moment. You're always a snide little weasel. Best I could do was beat some of it out of you. You should be thanking me for not trying to condemn me. Oh, you should be thanking me for it, not trying to condemn me. I think I've heard enough from you. Get out of here. This is a hefty tome of Bruce's family history. You feel sleepy just looking at it. Get away, boy! That chair is for the dog! Oh my god. Alright, I am outie. Fuck this. Or actually, I need to inspect one thing in here. The desk lamp provides a soft glow. Oh, that's all? Okay, I'm out. Right, what else we got in here? Do-do-do-do-do. Fireplace. The old stone fireplace has nothing to interest you. Walking into the pantry, you begin to salivate at the promising scent of roast beef coming from the kitchen beyond. Oh. Can we just... Oh! Wait, hey, what's happening? You find nothing interesting in the drawers. On top of the cabinet, however, you see a blue box marked rat poison. Let's leave that for now. We might need that later. Sounds an awful lot like something I can use to murder somebody. You have no reason to interfere with the saucepans and crockery. It seems the maid has left a sharp kitchen knife unattended. How foolish of her. What else we got? Can I take the bread? You don't think you will be needing any bread? Fuck you, I always need bread. There's nothing especially notable about the fireplace. There's nothing notable about this barrel. Please don't touch that. Oh, hello, Mr. Aaron. Is there something I can do for you? No. Actually, I wanted to ask you something about working for my family. George! Who the fuck is George? I'm concerned that my father's bad temper doesn't seem to have improved much over the years. Does he give you much abuse? I wouldn't call it abuse, Mr. Aaron. He can certainly be a very demanding employer, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm very grateful to have this position. I'm sorry, I must get back to work now. I'll ring the bell when dinner is ready. The maid gives you an exasperated glance as she moves some pots and pans around. She is obviously too busy for any more idle chatter. Alright. Well, out we go then. So now I know I can use rat poison or a knife to do the deed. The deed. Let's see what else we got around here. Can I go in there? Yes, I can. You manage to force open the locked drawer of the writing desk. Inside you find pages of poetry penned in your sister's handwriting. They seem to be love letters penned to an unidentified female. From the description, you would guess it's the new maid. Interesting. So I can frame the maid. I'd rather not do that, though. You decide that now is not the time for lounging around. There is work to be done. An assortment of family records and heirlooms are contained within this ornate glass cabinet. Was what I was trying to say. Oh. What's happening? Flashback? I don't know. Of course you do. Use that head for once, boy. Great Uncle Thomas? What initials do you see on that silverware? CB. What kind of half-wit spells Thomas with a C? I don't know. What I do is the kind of half-wit that's standing next to me. Now, which of your ancestors owned that silver chalice? If you get this one wrong, there will be serious consequences, boy. I'll say one thing for my father. His style of parenting has always been consistent. Damn. There's nothing on this old lectern. Nope. I don't want to frame the maid. She seems like a fairly decent person so far. That'll take me outside, right? Oh, no, I can go downstairs. Alright, let's look around some more. Doobie-doop. The most beloved of all your mother's possessions. Her rusty old gramophone. Used to play all of her favorite records. Can I check out the painting up there? Nope. There's nothing especially notable about this fireplace. You glance over your shoulder to make sure your mother isn't looking. The red book on the desk says diary on the front. Leave it where it is for now, so I can frame Mom, apparently. So, Aaron, you finally managed to make it up here for a visit. Please tell me you aren't just here to cause trouble. Whatever do you mean? I'm here to celebrate Father's birthday, is all. I certainly hope that's the case. This family has been through enough. Have you been up to see your sister yet? She has been going through an unusually difficult time recently. You sound worried. Do you think it's serious? I've not seen her this bad in a long time. Do you remember the summer when she... with the razor? In the bathroom? Yes, I remember. That was the last time I remember seeing her like this, so... Yes, to answer your question, I am worried. Anyway, you should go and talk to your father if you haven't already. Wish him a happy birthday. Oh, and at least try to sound like you mean it. I think that ship has sailed, Mom. We kind of had an argument. Right, before I go see Sis, let's try and go downstairs. The dusty old wine cellar is where your father likes to practice billiards. The laundry room is next door, and beyond that, the servants' quarters. Huh. Billiards cue belonging to your father lies across the table. This could certainly serve as an unorthodox murder weapon. I mean, so far I wanna frame the dad, because he's an asshole, but... Your father always keeps an impressive amount of wine stocked in the house. No greater grief than to remember the days of joy when misery is at hand. Wow. This antique map of Kansas City was a gift to your father from one of his distant cousins. An offshoot of the Bruce family set sail for Americas almost 100 years ago and remains there to this day. Find nothing but cleaning supplies. Oh, nope. I still haven't played Legacy of Kain. Someone in the chat is saying that he walks like that guy. This is certainly not the time for sitting around. Well, excuse me. Who's this?
Oh, hello, sir. What can I do for you?
You seem quite distressed about something.
I do? Well, I'm sure it's nothing you should trouble yourself with, sir.
Come on now, George. We've known each other many years. If something is troubling you, I want to hear about it.
If you insist, sir. Ever since the new maid arrived, I feel like I'm being nudged towards early retirement. She's obviously being trained to become the new housekeeper. She is taking over my responsibilities one by one. I've tried discussing the matter with your mother, but it's no use. She hasn't been herself lately either. But please don't trouble yourself about it, sir. I probably shouldn't have said anything at all.
Esh plays trying to be an aspiring voice actor. Yeah, keyword here being trying. This new maid is quite domineering then? She didn't seem that way to me.
She is, subtle in her ways. But mark my words, she wants to be running the house. Perhaps it's not a coincidence that your sister's mental health has become worse since Sophia arrived. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary yet, but I have my suspicions. She is as cold and hot as a woman as I've ever known. I should say no more. Please excuse me, sir.
You can't go rummaging through George's drawers while he's watching you. Okay, yeah, you kind of have a point there, I guess. I kind of wanted to try his bed. Alright. Well, George, I guess you're being bullied by the maid. Which seems odd, but I'll believe you. And this would be the maid's chambers. Alright. A broken mirror sits upon the maid's desk. Odds are that it belongs to your sister, and the maid has been hiding it here after accidentally breaking it. A shot of glass from the mirror would be a poetic murder weapon. There's nothing in these drawers but clothes belonging to the maid. Alright, we have a fair few options so far. I mean, so far I kind of want to kill her with Dad's billiard cue just to fucking spite the bastard. But maybe I should actually talk to my sister before I decide whether or not I even want to kill her at all. If I can avoid it at all. Your parents' room has not changed in years. It remains a frozen time capsule of a childhood you would sooner forget. You go through the wardrobe but find nothing apart from clothes and your mother's expensive collection of jewelry. Or excessive. I think it said excessive. Just an old chair. Oh, more flashbacks. No, I didn't make this. I have no idea what it is. I just got it on Chrono GG. George said you wanted to see me, Mother. Yes. Your sister will not be returning to St. Mary's this year, Aaron. Her condition has become too serious. I see. Have you nothing to say besides that, Aaron? No, nothing. This is precisely what I wanted to talk to you about. This silly feud with your sister must stop. Why do you think her condition keeps getting worse? Perhaps it's because you refuse to even acknowledge her. She killed Henry. For heaven's sake, Aaron, it was only a rat. He was my friend. I should never have allowed you to keep it in the first place. If you must blame someone, blame me. Will you forgive your sister? Never. Very well, Aaron. You leave me no choice. I will have to speak to your father about this. These seem like lovely parents. What's old about my Twitch bio? I mean, it might be. I'm not very good. Oh, shit. Yeah, it is a while back then. This house always brings back far too many memories. It's only once you slide the top drawer open that you remember this is where your father keeps his shotgun. The shiny barrel almost seems to call out to you. Guns are certainly noisy, but efficient weapons. Yeah, no. There's no way in hell I can plant evidence, use a shotgun, and get away with it. No. Here we go. You enter the surreal atmosphere of your sister's room. Mirrors of various sizes cover the walls, creating an eerie illusion of a crowded space. So many mirrors. Ornate clocks are your sister's third love, right behind mirrors and cruelty. So many mirrors. There's nothing of interest around your sister's bed. You don't want to sit around in this deranged place. I thought I smelled a rat. Have you come to see me, little rat? Hello, Jennifer. How have you been? How have I been? What an odd thing for a little rat to ask. Normally they just say, squeak, squeak. You used to have a pet rat, didn't you? Remember what I did to him? How he squeaked. Such great pain for such a little creature. What do you want to talk to me about, little rat? Mother says your condition has been getting worse. My condition? What condition? I don't have a condition. You want to have me sent away, don't you? Well, it won't work. It won't, I tell you! Go away! I don't want to speak with you anymore. Alright. This is a lovely home we're having. Alright, I haven't found an awful lot of stuff I can use for planting evidence yet. You step inside your former bedroom, now a simple guest room. Most of your old furniture has vanished. Probably thrown on a bonfire, knowing your father. Don't have time to sit around. There's at least one item of yours remaining in your former room. Your old fencing sword. At least this is a weapon with which you are very well practiced. Which also makes it very obvious that I'm the one who used it, so no. So far the billiard cue seems best. Your bedside table has been emptied of whatever items you had left behind. The clock is ticking. The wardrobe is vacant and barren. I see. Alright, so... The ornate lamp is of no use. So what I don't get so far is... We've been downstairs, right? Yeah. Okay, so... I feel like I haven't found anything I can use to implicate the father. Yes. I'll take the billiards cue. And tuck it inside of your coat. I'm assuming it's one of those you can, like, split up. So now I need to find something that might implicate the father. What, though? There has to be something I can use to make it look like dear old dad did it. Is there anything in, like, dad's fuck you room? You can't leave now. There's work to be done. Okay. Arts and culture. British history. Hefty tome of Bruce family history. When I'm streaming, I usually am, yes. When your father isn't looking, you quietly open the top drawer of the desk and take a look inside. It seems to be filled with his memorabilia. One of the items sends a shiver through your bones. The cruel leather toss your father used to beat you with when you were a child. Perhaps if you planted it in the right place, it might raise question. Yep, I'm taking it. I'm probably going the obvious route and will get a bad ending as a result, but fuck that. I'm gonna try. Again, a bell invites me. This time to dinner, it seems. Dinner is served. Sophia, could you come here a moment? Yes, ma'am? Pour me some more wine. Yes, ma'am.
But madam...
Oh, what is it, George?
I must protest. It has always been my duty to pour the wine at dinner.
Oh, well, I don't want to cause any trouble. Nonsense. What does it matter, George? Stop being over-pedantic.
But I...
My god, you really have some ways to be a fucking dick. Come on, just let him pour the damn wine, would you? It's his job.
You stay out of it, boy. If your mother wants the girl to pour the damn wine, then the girl will pour the damn wine. Of course, sir. My apologies.
An interesting little rat, isn't he, Daddy?
Yes, he is. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut, boy?
You're right. Sorry. I must have had too much wine myself.
Better not let it happen again.
Sophia, could you come here, please? Yes, Miss Jennifer? I just wanted to say that was the loveliest meal I've ever tasted. I don't know how you do it, you cunning pixie. You're too kind, miss. Of course I will have tea and cakes for you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. Oh, you're so good to me, you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. God damn it! Okay. Like, it's one thing that you can hit on the maid, but my god, the lines they give him to do it. Really? I thought we were in, like, 40s Scotland. Oh my god. Leave the girl alone, would you, sister? She's obviously not interested in your advances. Shut up, rat! You ruin everything. Aaron, don't you accuse your sister of such things. Not just such things, but such things. Apparently this typo was so egregious that the music cut out for a second. That's quite enough. Anyway, let's not forget why we're here today. To celebrate your father's birthday, such a very important occasion for us all. You are so dear to us, Malcolm. Happy birthday, Daddy! Indeed. Happy birthday, Father. Let's hope it will be one to remember. Doing the deed. Now it is the time to quickly plant any items of evidence you have. To do so, simply enter the desired room and select the item in your inventory. When you are ready, enter the drawing room to do the deed. I forget which room is the drawing room now, though. Alright, where should I plant the leather toss I took? In theory, I guess... her room. My sister's room. But what will that even accomplish? Nothing of interest around your sister's bed. But so many mirrors. So where do I plant it? How and where do I plant the thing? When your father used to beat you, he never even repeated the old cliche, "This hurts me more than it hurts you." Do you want to plant this item of evidence in this room? Alright, let's try it. You decide that your sister's wardrobe is the ideal location to plant some evidence. The police will definitely search this room thoroughly. Alright. I mean, if she harms herself and she's certified crazy, then I don't know. Are you sure you want to enter the drawing room? Once inside, there's no turning back. Alright, let's see if my scheme works. You see Jennifer staring out the window ahead of you, lost in one of her strange moods. She hasn't noticed you enter the drawing room. Now is the time. This music is like strange for this. Oh, I can use my bare hand? No! first time you bring the heavy end of the pool cue down upon the back of her skull, she stumbles forward, a bit dazed. You bring it down again, and she drops to her knees. It takes several more whacks before she's finally lying motionless in a pool of her own blood, and you've made plenty of noise in the process. You drop the pool cue on the ground and curse yourself for using such a clumsy weapon. You need to get out of this room, fast. I mean, it sounds like my deed has been discovered. Oh, a new character. Let's see. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Inspector Winston Lewis. I understand that this is a difficult time for your family.
You're damn right it is! I want to know what you're doing wasting time in here while my daughter's killer is still out there!
Well, Mr. Bruce, we have found no evidence of forced entry and nobody was seen entering or leaving the house. It would seem entirely possible, then, that the killer is in this room.
What? No! I think that was the maid, and I gave her a very masculine no there, but that seems highly unlikely, Inspector.
Perhaps it is. However, in order to follow protocol, I will have to interview each of you in turn. Mrs. Bruce, would you like to meet me in the library first?
I suppose so. The interview.
Thank you for joining me in here, Mr. Bruce. I'm sure this won't take long. Before we begin, I will need to search your person, best to get these formalities out of the way.
Is this really necessary?
I'm afraid so. Turn around, please. Now that's out of the way, let's move on to the interview. As you know, I have already spoken to everyone else who was present in the house at the time of your sister's death. We also have now completed our initial search of the house, but we'll get to that later. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? First of all, we will run through all of your activities since your arrival. The mess says that you and the butler arrived shortly after 7 o'clock, and she greeted you at the door. She told me you refused to give her your coat, and she found that quite peculiar.
I didn't want to get cold. That's nonsense, because it was soaked. Prefer to keep my possessions with me. I wasn't sure how long I would be staying. Let's try that. I thought I might have to leave soon.
In this weather, Mr. Bruce? That seems quite unlikely. Later you went to speak with the maid again, which is curious. Why did you decide to visit the kitchen?
I had some concerns about the way she was being treated. My family can be hard on the new staff sometimes.
That seems like a good reason. I understand the two of you spoke about your father and his temper.
My father has a vicious temper. I wanted to make sure he wasn't making her life miserable.
I see. Has he always had a temper?
Yes, always.
Later on, you had a conversation with your mother, Gloria, in the parlor. She says you spoke briefly about your sister. Apparently, you seemed quite concerned about her well-being.
My mother and I were concerned that my sister might try to take her own life, as she had attempted once before.
She had she? I'll take note of that. You went to see your father in the library. I understand your conversation became quite heated.
My father has a very short fuse. Many of our conversations go that way.
Would you say he has a violent temper?
Absolutely.
I see. That's good to know. You discussed the prospect of your moving back to Dunshield. You said you would only move back if your sister was placed into psychiatric care.
I had her own best interest at heart. She belonged in care.
You may be right, Mr. Bruce. However, you seem to be the only one who felt that way. More importantly, I understand you revealed to your father that you had discovered something about his will. Would you care to elaborate on that for me?
Actually, my father brought up the subject. I knew nothing about it. I might have to lie here, because I've clearly stumbled over my own feet.
But it's true that you were going to be disinherited in favor of your sister.
If my father says so, then I suppose it must be true. However, I was not aware before this evening.
I see. Let's move on for now. Let's discuss your conversation with the butler. I understand you spoke about the new maid, Sophia. The butler seems to have some concerns about her.
He told me the new maid is very domineering and was always looking to force him out of his job. I believe cold and heartless were the words he used.
I see. Interesting. Did you speak to your sister before dinner?
Yes, I went to her room to see her.
What did you discuss with her?
Nothing. It was as brief as most conversations I've had with my sister. She called me a rat, and not wanting to be insulted further, I soon left the room.
Did that make you angry?
To be honest, I was used to it from her.
Let's move on to the events that took place during dinner. I understand there was an argument involving the butler. You felt he was being treated unfairly.
Someone has to stand up for the servants around here. My family treats them like dirt.
Indeed. It was good of you to do so, Mr. Bruce. Apparently you accused your sister of making unwanted advances towards the maid.
I was just teasing my sister, that's all.
I see. Let's move on then. Now, I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. Where were you when you heard the maid scream?
I was in the guest bedroom.
I see. Thank you. As I said earlier, we have completed our initial search of the property. We found this leather toss while searching your sister's room. Do you know who it belongs to?
Yes, it belonged to my father.
Interesting it should be kept in your sister's room. Was your father ever violent towards your sister?
Let's just say he was never one to spare the strap.
I see. I'm curious about the murder weapon. Your sister was beaten to death with a billiards cue which belonged to your father. It was kept in the wine cellar, and you must have passed through there when you went to the servants' quarters. It is all very interesting. I will be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Frankly, your behavior leading up to your sister's death concerns me a great deal. However, the evidence against your father seems very compelling indeed. I am slightly curious about the maid, but I doubt she was involved in this. Given the weapon that was used, obviously suicide is not a realistic possibility. Now, as for what happens next,
this is getting exciting. He's actually saying, like, my story has holes, but still motivations match up, so I'm actually kind of on edge here. Ah, fuck. Damn it.
I will be arresting your father shortly.
I guess I screwed up. Oh well. You had succeeded in your plan to draw attention towards your father, which had led to his arrest. However, you had also drawn plenty of attention to yourself, and the evidence against you was overwhelming. When the police discovered your motive, that was the final nail in your coffin. At the trial, it did not take very long for the jury to return a guilty verdict. You were given a life sentence for the murder of your sister, and would be spending the rest of your life sleeping behind bars. In your dank little cell, there was nowhere to hide or escape from the nightmares when they came. The deed itself had taken possession of your soul, and perhaps this was her final revenge. Well then, I did not do a very good job. Because I combined wanting to kill my sister with trying to be decent to people around me, which is an odd combination. I'm not gonna play this again to get different endings. It is a bit of a nightmare. But this was actually really good. I've never seen this done with RPG Maker before. And it does put you on the spot and make you think. And make you nervous. The interview is actually really well put together like that. So I'm sure there's like a million endings to this. And I'm sure they're all very well thought out. And, you know, whoever made this, good job. I thoroughly enjoyed this. So, thanks for watching me get caught killing my sister. And see you next time. Bye.